Hi, all dear souls out there. Thank you for tuning in on another episode of Inspire to Rewire. Or thank you if this is the first time you're tuning in and listening to this podcast. I do hope this episode, including previous episodes if you have been listening to some of them, has been inspiring you or motivating you. Maybe to learn how to navigate a little bit differently in life. To have a little more self-care and a little more self-love. As you have more self-care and more self-love, you also have more care and love to the people around you and outside of you. My whole inspiration of starting this podcast was to see if I could be a part of the change in the world I want to see. To spark the light in each individual that is beyond the realm of that I can reach. I would love to hear what everyone is thinking about this podcast. I know that some of the platforms where Inspire to Rewire can be found has comment sections where you can leave me feedback, maybe about your favorite episode and why was it your favorite episode. Or maybe a topic that you would like for me to talk about. Or maybe something I haven't shared yet that you are curious about hearing my opinion about, or would like for me to talk about a subject that you might not know, or would like a subject I already spoke about, maybe that you want me to delve a little bit deeper into. Inspired to Rewire only exists because of all of the listeners and the audience that chooses to tune in and listen to this podcast every month. I am still doing this because all of my listeners out there, you guys encourage me and you make my heart and my face smile when I see everyone who's listening to this podcast. This has reached far wider than I ever could imagine. So I'm very, very thankful for each and every one of you. I do hope today's episode will be another thing that will be intriguing for the ones listening and maybe my, people who choose to listen to every other episode. I would like to talk about teamwork today. I think we have been so disconnected in so many different ways, and I find it to be a little bit intriguing sometimes, as to be pleasant or just to be nice towards people seem to be a shocking thing for people. I help people just because I want to help them. I don't expect anything in return. I do this from the pureness of my heart. And it's almost like if you help someone, or when I help someone from my own experience, that it feels like they think that I'm expecting something for the help I'm giving, or that I have some type of hidden agenda. It's very uncommon just to help, as I have learned along my journey, which is very, very sad. And I try to express to people, who I get kind of this energy feeling from, and say that, if I think that a lot of us got it all wrong. If we haven't come to understanding yet that we are all here to help one another, I think we are a little bit lost. You can have teamwork within the constellation of your family and friends, and you can also have teamwork in the constellation of the collective. It's very common that, I help me, myself, my family, and my friends, and it doesn't always reach further than that. I think that that's also a thing that, I try to be every day, on a daily basis, be the change I want to see in the world. So I try to spread my joy and spread my love and spread my light everywhere I go. I'm only human as many others, as all of us are. And I have my days too sometimes that is not always on top. But, I always try to go out in the world with a smile on my face because my heart is smiling. And I know that a smile is very contagious, not only towards myself and my own soul and heart, but to other people around me as well. I try to be the best version I can for me, because I know I am the best product I will ever get to work on. And I try to make people around me understand it as well. The best thing any human soul can do is to work on themselves, as that will have a butterfly effect to everyone and everything around them. And life is hard as it is. I don't see a reason why we should make it harder for one another. What if we could just walk around and just fix everyone's crowns and not see people as competitors? Rather be inspired and motivated by people. Jealousy has never been a nice color to wear on anyone. Doesn't matter if it's from a girl to a girl or boy to a boy, or, you know, in a relationship between a man and a female. And I do understand that jealousy only comes from a certain wound and trauma that lays within. It comes from an insecurity, maybe a fear. But we become so much stronger when we help each other, when we support each other. And when we see someone maybe has something within them that I want or I would like to be more of, you know, express that as a... If we can receive that with more of an open heart, I think it's easier for us to be blessed with what other people come with, to be inspired to, you know, move towards that directions ourselves. One thing I do know for sure is that everyone is not always open to receiving the help that you come with. I have love for all people. I seriously, honestly do. I wish everyone well. I want everybody to eat, but I don't necessarily want everyone to eat at my table. Not everyone is receptive towards the things that I come with. Nor is everyone, always so pleasant in the way I deal with people. I do understand that certain people do things because they are hurt and they have maybe, trauma and emotions sitting there. I have done so many things in my life for so many people, and I have always, I have gave people my pinky finger and they have taken my whole arm. And people have, taken my kindness as a weakness many, many, many times. And one big act of self-love that I had to learn was to set healthy boundaries within my relationships. And some of my relationships just fell off naturally. And some of my relationship I chose, I don't want to deal with this because I don't feel like this is something that is beneficial towards me nor towards the other person. Because this relationship is more toxic. Some people want to be in a relationship or have certain relationships that benefits, kind of like soothes their trauma and their ego. And I don't think that's a healthy relationship. Some people just don't want to hear the truth. And some people just don't want to change, and that's okay. Maybe that's not along their journey, I can support you the best I can within the means that I do have. But I can't support, a bad behavior or a malicious behavior, no matter if you justify that behavior because you have a certain wound or trauma. It doesn't make it okay. I can only look at that myself. I have been through life and I have had people express how hard they have been having it in life or how hard they have it. And, they justify their bad behaviors and, bad attitudes because of the challenges they're facing in life. No matter what challenge I face in life, I don't let that get the best out of me or justify an attitude I have towards someone. And if I were to have an attitude towards someone, which God forbid hadn't happened in a very, very, very long time, it's my responsibility to pick up the phone and apologize for my behavior. The moment I apologize and take responsibility for what I do wrong, that moment certain things surface and I can do better within the next opportunity or, situation that happens that is similar towards it. You don't necessarily support someone by sitting in their company and, being a company of their misery. Or stroking their traumas. I know that change is hard, and I know it's very difficult and can be very challenging at times. I would be the first to know, as I have walked that path myself, and I am still on that path, and I believe that's a path I'm going to walk throughout this life. So I do believe that it's very important to have a support system around you, where you have some type of teamwork, where someone can scratch your back and sometimes you scratch their back. There needs to be a balance within the relationships that you do have. And I do know how far you can go when you have a good support system around you, or actually just people cheering for you to win. Because that's more uncommon than common, which is sad, but I can understand it, because we live in a very broken world with a lot of broken people. I've been that myself, and it's not a lovely place to be in, even though a lot of it can be in denial. I've been there myself as well. The healing journey has been the most liberating thing I have ever, decided to go on, and I embrace all of it. Today I embrace all of the shadow work, and I embrace all of my emotions. I embrace everything that I come with and everything that needs to come up to surface, as I know that this is going to be something that is going to be growth for me. Growing pains can hurt, but it feels so good when it's over. And I love when I'm in a place where I'm a little bit unbalanced, where I have people who supports me and sees me and cheers for me. Because sometimes it's very nice to be picked up by, your loved ones around you. And I do know that we are all a part of the collective. And I know that every change I make, including everyone around me and everyone out there on earth, is a part of the collective. So we're changing the collective together. We are not... I had a conversation today, and I was walking the streets, and I was kind of amazed of how deeply programmed we have all been to this so-called life, that we are all just following lead of what we are supposed to do, or what we have been taught that we are supposed to do, no matter if it's, going to work from a 9 to 5 to make a living, to put food on the table, or to have a certain emotional reaction in a certain type of situation. Everything is so hardwired within us. And if we don't react a certain type of way that society has taught us to, we kind of get confused, and we feel kind of unproductive, or we feel like we're not doing anything, or that something is wrong. I've had these conversations with some friends of mine, once they get the opportunity maybe not to go to work no more, or, something happens where they're free for a longer amount of time, how they feel like they're not doing anything or achieving anything because they're not going to their jobs and making money, going to work for someone else. And it's this, I always get amazed by how hardly wired we all are, and how good they have done it. They have done it so the programs has been so installed and indoctrinated in all of us that we are going on them on an autopilot. And when we get off of the programs, something kicks in emotionally, combined with the mind, that we are not supposed to do this. I'm doing something. I'm supposed to do this instead, because this is what I've been doing my whole life, and this is what everyone else is doing. And once you start to go out of the lead, or not follow the lead anymore, or follow the frames that you have been taught to follow, something feels wrong. Sometimes it can feel off. And it's so important then when you stand in these situations and you start to question everything, because that goes up and down as well. It's levels to all of this. To have people around you who are like-minded, or put yourself in environments, or listen to podcasts, or watch things that feeds a different story than the one you have been told. Because a lot of the things that we have been told isn't necessarily true. And I can also see how it's an agenda behind so many things, and how they're trying to make certain people out seem like they're crazy. When you ask me, I think that this is people who found sanity. And all other people out here just following lead are actually the crazy ones. But we think this is a norm because that is what has been made a norm. When did we lose track? When did we become so disconnected from helping one another? I honestly believe that I am here to help everyone get free. Everyone I am able to touch, everyone I am able to move, everyone I am able to inspire or motivate in some type of way, no matter if it's through my podcast or through my social media or, in person. I do believe one of the purposes I have here is like helping people find freedom. The thing is that none of us was born into freedom. We have to break free to become free. We all deserve that. None of us deserve anything less than that. It's just a hard challenge to become free in every aspect. Diamonds are made under pressure. So when you are on the challenging situations and are facing, a big mountain ahead of you, I know that there is growth for you there, as it has been for me and still is for me. And to have someone at times be the one that's under you just to push you up a little bit means so much in a world like this. It's very hard as it is, and I do believe we should work more together, collectively, because we are the change that we seek. Every change that you seek in your life, the answer to all of that is you. And that means sometimes that you need to go and take a look in the mirror or look at the reflection board, because the only one who can correct yourself is you. I also find that to be so interesting, with people, how they are so very open to feedback when it comes in a positive manner. But if someone comes to you with feedback that might not be so pleasant to hear, you just reject it and you don't want to hear it, and you start, defending yourself or feeling attacked, and, feedback gives me an opportunity to grow, no matter if it's good or bad. Some feedback that will come from people around you will come because they are hurt or they feel some type of way, maybe about, themselves more than you. But other feedback that might hit some type of way, and it rings some truth to it deep down inside, even though you might defending it. The most liberating thing you can do is to set yourself free from it and make a change and grow, evolve. That's why you are here. That's why we are all here. It can be hard. It can be challenging. It can be rough and tough at times. But God, when that phase or that chapter of your life is over and you're ready to flip to the next page, it feels so good. And the most beautiful thing about that is that no one can take that away from you. Everything that you have achieved, everything that you have done, no one can ever take that away from you. Some days, some years, in my life has been very, very hard, but I am so proud over the person I am today and the person I am becoming. And who I am and where I stand today. My growth has been nothing but beneficial towards myself. And I do see that the way I walk in life and how I choose to move in life inspires the people around me. So when I do better for me, I do better for the people around me too. And when they do better for them, they do better for me too. That's how it works. There's no I in team. It's we. But everything starts with you on an individual level. So you need to work with you. And you need to have people around you that will work with you and cheer for you and be there for you. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and she was telling me about how certain emotions she didn't want to raise her tone at me when she was upset at life or something was bothering her. And I said, wait a minute, baby girl, what are you telling me right now? Why wouldn't you want to show me all of the sides of you? I don't want a relationship with you where you need to have a mask on for me. And I don't want to have the relationship with you either where I need to have a mask on for you. That's not a genuine, nor is it authentic. I want to love all of you, everything that you come with. And I want you to be able to do the same with me. And if you can't be real with yourself and be real in this relationship, then when are you real? You know, I do believe that we pick our gems in life. We have certain people that, you know, I have gone through difficult situations with some people. And some people, when I have gone through difficult situations, we just walk separate ways. And maybe that's for life, or maybe our roads will, you know, meet up later in life. I don't know. And in other situations where I have had difficult times with people, the difficult times has actually brought us closer to one another. Because the communication and the way of mind and, you know, the apologies and, you know, the understanding is just there, so it works. The relationships that you have around you can be very energy draining, but it has also, you shouldn't only pour into other people, people should pour into you too. It has to be a balance in your relationships. And it's nothing wrong when certain relationships fall off. I think it's a way of life. Some people are just not meant to walk this path of life journey with you, while others are meant to, you know, stand by your side and walk with you. But just because some people, you know, fall off and maybe take a different path, doesn't mean you can't cheer for them. I cheer for every person I've ever met. I cheer for the people I haven't even met yet. But not all people are meant to walk beside me. And I don't think I'm meant to walk beside everyone either. I'm not here for everyone to like me. Before I was minimizing myself so other people could feel comfortable within my company. I have still done it at times to this day, and when I do it, I catch myself and say, I can't do this again. Because the only person I'm actually damaging is myself. And by me minimizing who I am in the comforts of another, for them to feel comfortable, I'm not doing them a favor. I'm actually doing them a disfavor. Because if a person gets triggered within my company, there's something that person needs to look into. And we are here to be authentic, and we are here to be real, and we are here to be honest, and we are here to help one another. No matter if I'm close to you or if I have no relationship with you at all. Whatever we can do, in whatever ways we can to help each other, I do believe that that's the way. The way to freedom is to liberate yourself. And it starts with you liberating yourself from all of the traumas and the wounds that you have within you. And if people around you trigger you, I think that's a good thing. I think it gives you an opportunity to see where you need to look. So you can go to the root cause of the problem and do something about it, because the only person who can do something about it is you. And that should never be taken away from you. I believe that, you know, some people can see it as a curse. I believe it as a blessing that's coming to you. It's always about perspectives. I do hope that we can help each other more, you know, be more friendly to the people we know and to the people we don't know. And be more, you know, set more of an example of the things that you would like to see in the world. And sometimes you will slip and sometimes you will fall, and that's okay, because you're going to get back up and you're going to try again, because that's who you are. Nothing can conquer you unless you let it conquer you and you give up. The moment you give up, that's the moment you fail. But there is no failure. Will never ever exist in your life as long as you choose not to give up. And the last person you should give up on is yourself. I believe in you, and I believe in us as a humanity, and I believe in us as a species. I do believe that we can do great things and change the direction of how the world has been and maybe might be going. I know that we are the change we seek, and I believe in each and every one of us. And I do know that some people are here on a journey that they will do the work this lifetime, and other people are just not there yet. And we all work in different paces, and that's okay too. I know why I'm here, and I'm going to do what I need to do on a daily basis for myself and for everyone around me and for the collective and for the earth, for all life. I do highly believe in an I community. One love and one heart. I do hope we can all cheer for each other more and, correct each other's crowns and help one another to grow. And, I love when people are, willing to grow and do the work that they need to do, because I cheer for every one of you and I admire you, because I know it's very, very hard and difficult to do that. And I think all of you guys are amazing. And I am so thankful for everyone that's listening to this podcast. And I hope I can have some type of positive impact on your life in some type of way, shape, or form. I cheer for us as a team, and I believe in all of us individually and collectively. And yeah, keep going, keep doing you, keep shining, keep getting up when you fall. I cheer for you, even though I'm not close to you. I'm grabbing your hand and picking you up when you are laying down, because you deserve better than that. I think we are great together and we are strong together. I cheer for you individually, and I cheer for all of us collectively. And I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear what you guys think about this podcast. If you don't want to leave any comments in the comment sections on these different platforms, you can also email me at info@iamangel.se. Thank you so much for all of your time, for listening to this episode, and even if you listen to previous episodes. I appreciate you spending your time on this podcast, Inspired to Rewire. Namaste.